Welcome into Outkick the Show. I'm your fearless leader, Clay Travis. I hope you guys are having fantastic Thursdays wherever you may be across this great country or this great land. We got a lot to dive into, but I want to thank you for all subscribing for Outkick VIP in such incredible numbers. We've had to go back and order thousands of more copies of my most recent book. If you have signed up and you have not gotten your book yet, you will. I am in the process of signing them all. But we had to go back to the publisher and get more printed, so it's going to take a little bit of time. Go sign up for Outkick VIP at Outkick.com. You get access to a VIP message board, a VIP phone line. If you listen to the radio show live or on podcast, you'll hear people calling in on the VIP phone line. Also, the ability to comment on all of our articles. So jump in today and get rolling there at Outkick VIP. Whitlock is now in Nashville. He came over yesterday and cooked for the entire family, said he wanted to peak early, told my kids they would now not get Christmas presents. So that is what's going on there. We're going out for a Outkick partner dinner tonight in Nashville, and it should be a good time. So that is on the horizon here. I've got Lock It In coming up in about 30 minutes or so, a little bit 45 minutes-ish. But we got a lot to dive into, so let's get right to it. Coronavirus update. I want to give you the Florida numbers that are not getting very much attention because they're all moving in such a positive direction right now, okay? So in Florida today, they reported just shy of 100,000 tests, which is nearly the high for the past 2 weeks in terms of overall number test results being reported. And they had a positivity rate in Florida, which is a new low over the past couple of months, meaning all of July, back in, I think, to late June, all the way up to August, 8.34% positive in Florida, right? The goal is 5% positivity. That's what everybody kind of says, hey, let's try to get it around 5%. That's a goal where, you can manage it fairly easily. Florida is now down to 8.34% positive, new low being set, rapidly moving in the direction of really outstanding results in Florida. The death rate is a fraction of the disaster that we saw from New York and New Jersey. 120 people, I believe, today. That's down off of last week. The peak appears to have occurred already, and it's now moving in the direction of positivity. Nobody talking about Florida now. This has been a story from the get-go. Whenever stories disappear, assume that they're actually positive. Arizona, everybody was panicked. Arizona is effectively through their outbreak. Texas, everybody was panicking. Everybody is now not talking about Texas because they are through the outbreak, and Florida as well. All of those moving in a good direction. And by the way, Florida right now has 1/5 of the death rate of New York, despite more confirmed cases than New York ever had. That's because so far, Ron DeSantis, unlike the governors of New York and New Jersey, has not been an unmitigated disaster. And so I encourage all of you to actually look at the data yourself. I'm going to tweet out the direct link to the Florida Department of Health, and you will be looking at it and saying, oh, wow, that's why that story has disappeared. None of the worst case scenarios actually happened. And so I am applauding the Republican governors, Ducey in Arizona, Abbott in Texas, and Ron DeSantis in Florida. They get crushed. They get crushed because they're Republicans, even though they have infinitely better results in their state than the Northeast governors did, who have been overwhelmingly praised by the media. Again, Florida with 1/5 of the death rate of New York, despite more cases. Ron DeSantis has dunked all over Cuomo and also the governor of New Jersey, Murphy, yet Cuomo has somehow become the praised, beloved figure in the world. I don't understand it at all. It's an evidence of major bias in the media at large. All right. So positivity in the coronavirus, cases overall nationwide plummeting substantially, death rate not rising, now declining already. We never saw anything approaching what happened in the Northeast. That's because the governors in the South and the Southwest did not panic by and large, unlike the idiots who were governors in the Northeast. All right, PGA Championship is underway. The leader right now, -5. I believe Tiger Woods is even. Brooks Koepka, who is a major destruction machine, is at -4, just one spot out of the lead. This is going to be awesome. If you haven't realized it yet, the PGA is taking place on the West Coast near San Francisco, meaning golf is going to be in prime time all week. That means you're going to be able to put it on tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and watch the PGA Championship in prime time. This is going to be the highest rated sports viewership of the weekend. They are going to dunk, the PGA is, on everyone. Do you know why? Because they're just playing a game. They're not trying to preach to you about what you should believe politically. They're not trying to tell you that they are social justice warriors. They're just out there playing golf. And that is why they are going to dunk all over the NBA in the ratings. The NBA is plummeting compared to every other sport that came back because the NBA decided to get woke and they are now going to go broke. Plus, as if they didn't decide enough to get woke, they also are being insane hypocrites with China. And it's not a coincidence that if you look at the ratings, the sport that has been the least political. And by the way, people say, oh, you want... I'm not saying anything political. Like, I have no idea what the golfers' political beliefs are. They may be huge Biden bros. There may be Bernie bros out there. There may be huge Trump guys. I don't know. But I do know that they're not saying anything. By and large, they are just out there actually putting on a big-time production regardless of what your beliefs might be. And that's what people want right now, an escape from reality. They want to just kick back, have a beer, watch some sports in what has been a crazy year. And right now, the PGA, is dominating. There's a couple of people who are obsessed with defending the NBA. And I don't know even making this up. I think the NBA may have bots that they get active on social media. Anytime there's an NBA criticism, I see people who don't even follow me somehow end up in the comments. How is that? Are you just constantly searching to see somebody say something negative about the NBA so you can swoop in and say something positive? The NBA is getting dunked on. They got dunked on last weekend by the WGC event from Memphis. Tiger didn't even play. And the golf absolutely dunked all over, balls in the face style, on the NBA. And golf's going to do it again this weekend, except infinitely worse. Every other sport, when it returned, skyrocketed. Got a massive bump in audience that it ordinarily does not have. The NBA didn't get it. The NBA actually, the Lakers-Clippers game, which is the highest rated NBA game returned so far, actually underrated the Lakers-Clippers back in October. So the NBA was higher rated when they were competing against the NFL than when they were competing with no one after sitting out for months. That's because it's bad business to alienate audience, which ties in with my perspective here on LeBron versus Trump. Effectively, the NBA players have forgotten that they are in the entertainment business. They have forgotten that the reason why they make money now is because of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. You know, the NBA audience is half what it was when Michael Jordan played. Do you know that The Last Dance, the documentary about Michael Jordan, is over double any NBA game that has aired since they returned? I want to repeat that. 6 million people watched a documentary about Michael Jordan. Nobody has watched, nearly half of that have watched actual NBA games since they returned. Why is that? Because Jordan united the country, LeBron divides it. And LeBron is not, despite the fact that people want to praise him for being a great businessman, that smart when it comes to business, in my opinion, when he says, if you don't like what we're doing, don't watch. Why in the world, if you are in the business of appealing to everyone, would you tell people not to consume your product? What I keep saying every single day out there is, look, your job is to appeal to everyone if you're an athlete. I don't care whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent. Your calling card should be your excellence, and you should be trying to appeal to everyone. When LeBron James says basically to Donald Trump and Donald Trump supporters, don't watch then, he doesn't realize, I don't believe, that millions of people, maybe even tens of millions of Donald Trump voters are willing to watch the NBA, buy product for their kids, maybe buy tickets. And when he says don't watch, he's just giving them an easy out to decide to watch the NHL or the PGA or Major League Baseball with after a super woke opening game has basically abandoned all of it. This is, I believe, why the NBA is going to be in real trouble. They had an opportunity here to be a unifying force and to bring back sports fans and build up goodwill. Instead, I think this is going to be a major issue for them for years and years to come. It's a fundamental lack of understanding of business. And all athletes, I think to some extent, take fans for granted. But when you directly tell them don't watch then, that's a bad move. I'm telling you, a lot of people are going to take LeBron up on his offer and not watch at all, which is going to be really interesting to actually see how it all shakes out. I'm going to have to block this guy. Basketball's bigger than Donald Trump. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Are you really that dumb? Basketball is not bigger than Tucker Carlson. Basketball is not bigger than Sean Hannity. Fox News broadcasts destroy the NBA head-to-head. The average Tucker Carlson broadcast dunks all balls in the face on the average LeBron James basketball game. You can have any opinion you want, but at least understand basic data and look at actual facts to make your argument so that it's in some way remotely intelligent. The data is straightforward. Tucker Carlson cranks it back and dunks all over the NBA. So does Sean Hannity. And the PGA is going to destroy them this weekend. The NBA ratings have not surged, unlike every other sport when they have come back. Facts matter. Use them at some point in time. NBA is global. I'm telling you, man, it's amazing how many people seem to come in and they're like bots that when the NBA is criticized, they swarm. And I think a lot of the NBA talk is totally fake. I think China is supporting the NBA in an effort to create division in America. It's unlike everything that I have seen. Look, the NBA bends the knee for China and sucks up to Chairman Xi, but won't even say a word negative about him, and they rip their own American institutions. The NBA is bought and sold by China. That's the truth. They have turned their back on America in favor of embracing Chinese communist values, and it's really, really sad. It's pathetic. Free Hong Kong, amen. Coach's poll is out. Coach's poll is out in college football. Fingers crossed that we are going to have college football this fall. I remain optimistic, but all of the Corona Bros have focused their attack on college football because every other sport is going to happen. And so, coach's poll. Number 1, Clemson. Number 2, Ohio State. 3, Alabama. 4, Georgia. 5, LSU. 3 of the top 5 from the SEC. Oklahoma in the 6th spot. Penn State 7. Florida 8. 4 of the top 8 from the SEC. Oregon and Notre Dame round out the top 10. Fingers crossed that the Corona Bros are not going to win. I love when poll season arrives in college football and we start to be able to check them out. Again, in order, the top 10, Clemson, Ohio State, Bama, Georgia, LSU, OU, Penn State, Florida, Oregon, and Notre Dame. I want to give props that is making the Corona Bros really upset. Want to really drive the Corona Bros crazy. Want to really drive the Corona Bros crazy. Major League Baseball ain't quitting. Everybody last week, the Corona Bro community, they were like, oh my God, how in the world are we going to, this is the Corona Bro voice, how in the world are we going to play sports? Look at the Marlins. Look at the Marlins. They've got the coronavirus. They're all asymptomatic. They have absolutely no health issues whatsoever. And now the Marlins are back and somehow winning with a bunch of dudes nobody knows. They won a doubleheader yesterday. They're 5-1, and they right now are in first place in the NL East. Tomorrow the Cardinals are going to come back, and all 30, knock on wood, all 30 NBA, Major League Baseball teams are going to be playing tomorrow. So all 30 Major League Baseball teams are going to be back tomorrow. I think you have to give props to Rob Manfred for not panicking, for not listening to the Corona Bros, for not deciding to shut everything down. By this weekend, Major League Baseball, many teams will have played a quarter of their seasons. 15 out of the 60, which is pretty wild to think about. 15 out of the 60, 25% of the Major League Baseball season will be done. As they continue to play, this is, I believe, really fascinating to follow. And I don't understand, as you break it down, why you would not go ahead and play out no matter what. This in and of itself is going to be a lot of fun to watch to see how it all shakes out with Major League Baseball. But I give them credit for not bending the knee to the Corona Bros and actually making the decision to do exactly what you anticipated and bend the knee to the Corona Bros. A couple of other things. The NFL, there is a deadline today. There is a deadline today of 4 o'clock Eastern for NFL players to decide whether or not they are going to opt out of the season. Every NFL player has gotten a ton of attention over time, but this is a positive that relatively few of them have dropped out so far. We'll find out in about an hour what happens going forward. But only 56 NFL players have tested positive so far on their return to the games. And so if you actually look at the data, and I enjoy the data, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I enjoy the data, because the data is actually on my side. Only 56 NFL players have actually tested positive so far. That represents less than 1% of the overall number of people that have actually been tested. So this is worth paying a lot of attention to. We'll see what happens with the opt-out provision. A couple of other things. Mike Piazza. You want something fun to watch? Go to Outkick.com right now and check out Mike Piazza alongside of Pamela Anderson back in the day in Baywatch. You will be entertained beyond belief for one of the absolutely perfect 1-minute guest spots of all time. Mike Piazza in his Mike Piazza jersey on the beach with a baseball bat for some reason. Come running up is Pamela Anderson in all her Baywatch glory. And then Mike Piazza and Pamela Anderson go out into the ocean to save a girl from drowning. The girl who is drowning might be the worst actress that has ever lived. It's 1 minute of 1990s era television glory. I encourage you to all go check it out. It's up on Outkick. You are going to absolutely love it. Finally, this is interesting. There's a 5-star quarterback. I believe his name is Jake Garcia. Some of you recruiting nerds will know who I'm talking about. Out of California. He has decided to transfer all the way from California, where they are not playing fall football, to Valdosta, Georgia, to play high school football this year in Georgia. This is something that many recruits, it appears, who have the resources to be able to do it or the connections in other states are starting to do as well. Again, Jake Garcia transferring from California, where there is no fall football, to Georgia, where there is going to be high school football. He's playing for a Valdosta, Georgia powerhouse program. 5-star player. Who knows, when he comes to the South, he may decide that he doesn't want to go back to USC. But this is starting to become an interesting trend line as we go under the continuing decision to allow high school football to come back. So I appreciate all of you. And by the way, I give props to the NFL for trying to find a way. I give props to high school football. The Corona Bros are upset because the Corona Bros are trying to find reasons for something not to happen. They want to destroy. They don't want to create. And what we have in America today right now is a battle between creators and destroyers. And the people who want to destroy are trying to throw up obstacles to why things can't happen. And the people who want to create are doing what America has always done, which is find a way to get back and succeed even though there are tremendous obstacles. So look, Gary Bettman in the NHL, Roger Goodell in the NFL, Rob Manfred in Major League Baseball, Adam Silver in the NBA too. All of them deserve props for finding a way to get their sport back, and that is what American ingenuity does. The PGA as well. Look, guys, the only sport right now that is under the possibility of not playing is college football. Every other sport is playing. The Corona Bros are losing. Their final battlefield is college football. I hope they're going to lose that one as well. But in the meantime, enjoy the PGA Championship today. Enjoy the NBA. Enjoy the NHL. Enjoy Major League Baseball. Embrace whatever sport you love and watch it. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for supporting Outkick. Thank you for supporting Jason Whitlock. Two of us are going out to dinner last night. Like I said, Whitlock came over to the house and cooked last night, told my kids this was their Christmas. They didn't get anything else from him, but it was a good meal. I appreciate all of you. My name is Clay Travis. Thank you for listening. DBAP unless you need to SBAP. I've got television on FS1 coming up right now. We're gambling on the PGA and every other sporting event going on right now. It's a gambling nirvana. Enjoy it. Kisses, DBAP unless you need to SBAP. See y'all. Love you. Thank you, Facebook.